Well, good morning.
Good morning.
So we are finally
Oh,
out at the house build. It feels like it's been a month since we've had a break in the rain and the wet snow. And, we're finally going to get out here. We have, I think, 4 days of no rain, then 1 day of rain, and then no rain again for a little while. So we are going to try and get as much done as we can.
yeah. So our goal is to get the house dried in by spring. That would be kind of a good goal for us to have. And so we've been getting out here and sweeping off the subfloor, taking the snow off there, trying to keep it as dry as possible. We did take 1 day and put the snow brake on the barn. We had not done that yet. So we put that on there. We squared up our foundation, trimmed off all the extra plywood that we left over hanging there long, and kind of squared it up, kind of getting ready to pop some lines.
Yeah. So our plan is to get some walls up today. I don't do construction. Levi did for a very long time, so he knows how long things will take. I, of course, in my mind have different ideas of how long things should take.
Hey, I like the optimism. Let's get some walls up today. It's just her and I.
Yeah.
So picking up a 64-foot long wall is going to take some planning and some figuring.
It's not going to be 64 feet all at once.
So there's a lot of figuring.
We're going to break it up. We're thinking in either 16-foot sections or 32-foot sections. Yep. But like he said, it's just the two of us. Now we did pick up some wall jacks.
Yep.
To help with this process, and I'm just trusting him and his guidance to show me what to do.
It's going to be fun. I've always wanted to do this. Like you guys know, if you followed us for any length of time, just her and I built that barn. We did every aspect of that whole barn. So I have no doubt that we can do this house. We've kind of designed this house around it just being her and I. So we don't have second stories. We don't have a bunch of heavy giant beams. We tried to do this to make it as beautiful as possible, but also for us to be able to do it functionally ourselves.
Yeah.
And so I think we've come up with a really good plan. And we've got all the windows sized, so we are ready to start framing.
Yeah, we did spend some time, or I should say Levi did, making sure we were going to get our rough openings for the window sizes that we've chosen. We've adjusted the house plan to what we want, so that means changing the, where the headers need to be and the size of the rough openings.
Yep.
And so he spent a lot of time the last few days with this bad weather that we've had just to make sure that we frame everything properly. We priced out windows, changed our mind on a few things because of price.
Wow.
But yeah, we'll talk about that and show all of that as we're building.
So the first thing we're going to do is we need to start making headers and get ready for the windows. So those have to be pre-made. Everything is just long, so we got to cut everything, make sure that they're all the right size. Then we can start laying our wall out, start framing it up, and hopefully in the next 4 days here, get a wall stood up. That's our goal. Yeah. All right, let me go grab a saw. I think we're set.
All right, let's go.
All right, our extra sheeting's paying off. We have that stored in the barn. We're going to use that to space our 2x10s to make our headers. So we have a 2x10 up here. We're going to cut these to do our 2 windows in this back wall, and then we'll rip some of this sheeting down to fit in between that and basically sandwich that plywood to make the header to be 3.5 inches thick. Whew, nice. All right. First one is 48-inch window. So we're going to add 3 inches to that for the lap studs. 1, 2, 3. 51. All right, so we plugged in our air hose, and looks like it's got a nice size crack in it. It's leaking air right there, so we're gonna go ahead and fix this before we start, and then we'll start nailing the headers together. Always cut away from you.
Yeah.
All right, now I gotta dissect this thing. So it's just a barbed connection. It just slips into this air hose. So yeah.
Speed square, multi-tool.
Multi-tool. All right.
All right, let's see.
See if that's more better. I think it might be this fitting.
Well,
Yeah, it's the fitting.
well, the air hose needed it too, though.
Yeah, the thing was about to break, so.
Okay.
Now we'll set this one on top of that. And what we're gonna do is line up the edge and then the bottom.
The edge and then the bottom.
Just gonna use your square.
We have two of them. How come I don't have one?
You should have built these headers. So, I like
So
my
mine didn't match up. There we go.
square here. Put the nail here.
And two.
Like, not like hit each other. We're gonna do it twice. All right, here we go. First line popped for the house. This is gonna represent the bottom plate, and we're gonna line the bottom plate up to that. This is gonna be our first line popped on the foundation. Like it?
Yep.
Woo-hoo. All right, so this wall right here is the wall we're building. This is the back wall of the house, and we have the 4-foot window here and a 2-foot window here. And what I'm trying to figure out is I'm going to put a plate down here, and they come 16 feet long, and I want to make sure that the plate doesn't like break over a window or break in a wall where a partition's going to come out at. So I'm just trying to figure out, they're 16 feet long, and this print is 1/4 inch per foot, so I know every inch on here is 4 feet. So 4, 8, 12, 16. The plate's gonna break right there in the center. So here's a partition wall that's gonna separate this bedroom and then our bathroom. So if I go this way and I go 4, 8, 12, 16, that 16-foot board is going to be right in a partition, and I don't want that. I want that partition to be really strong, because that's going to be, you know, kicking off this back wall and making it nice and square and strong. So we're going to go from this side that way with this first plate. these down to 16 feet. Take this down just like this, set it on that red line. Looking at 142 and 15/16. Touch it?
No. Keep going. There you go. I couldn't pull it.
All right, so we just marked our layout for this back wall, and I went ahead and double and triple checked it to make sure that it's right. It's right. We're on 16-inch layout, so everything should be good. So now what we need to do is mark where our windows are gonna go. We have those marked on the print as centers, and then we know we have to go from that center mark. We have to go 4 foot center, so 2 foot each way, and we'll do the same thing for the 2 foot window. We'll go 1 foot each way. We'll mark those out, and then we'll transfer our lines. One represents the top plate, one represents the bottom plate. So I just have a mark here, and the reason you nail these together is that you want to transfer the marks so that they line up. When you put this one way up 9 feet tall, it's going to line up with this one. So we're just going to go transfer all these marks, mark our windows, and then we can separate these and start building the wall. Just grab them both, and then we'll slide it over to the window. Crowning them so you can just take them over.
Okay, so
you know
you'll mark the K's if you find a really good one.
Yep. So you're just going to go out there and you're going to set this board with the arrow facing up, you know, and just line it up with the top plate or the bottom plate, whichever one you want. But then where the windows are, obviously don't get stuck.
Right.
So you got to know where the window is. Right. That, you can just start setting these in here, and I'll keep marking.
Let's take one at a time.
Guitar board.
What?
Guitar board.
Does the king matter? Which direction?
Nope. Just set it in there.
All right, so we have basically the whole back wall laid out, except for the windows and our corners. So Levi is gonna start building the corner, and I will let him explain that to you.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is a California corner, and it basically is just to get extra insulation in the wall. A lot of times the old traditional way in that outside corner, it would be impossible to get extra insulation in there, so there'd be like a void. And so the way we do it now is you basically take two studs, and you want these to be nice and straight. And then you would just take your square, run it along here so you have this lined up on the bottom. And then take another board, another stud, and you're just gonna set this right on top of here. And you're gonna create like a U shape, basically. So this is gonna go to the outside, and then you'll be able to tuck insulation into this corner. It's just a really nice way. It's very, very strong. It really ties in the extra wall that comes in together, and you get some extra insulation factor. More. Right there. Okay, back in. Nope, right there. Back in. More. Right there.
Pretty good the rest of the way, yeah. In more? Well, I learned something new today.
All right, so here is our header and our king studs for the window, and we are going to have our headers go all the way up to our top plate, and then that's where we're going to have our window heights set from. These are going to be 9-foot tall walls, and we're getting kind of some big windows because of our beautiful view here. So we're going to go ahead and nail these on. We're just going to flush everything down, and then when we get back over there, we'll flip these up so that the headers are going to be facing up instead of facing down.
You lift it up and then I can't get in underneath. Ooh. Yeah.
All right, so now that we have all of our studs in place, we have our window with the king stud and the header nailed together, and we have our two corners built, we can now nail the top and bottom plates onto these studs, and then we could jump to framing the windows.
it's not connected.
All right, so we're done nailing all the studs on. So now we can work on the rough openings for the windows. This window is a 48 inch by 48 inch window. So the rough opening is gonna be 48 by 48. So we're gonna measure down off of our header and mark 48. And then we're gonna put an X where the sill's gonna be. Do the same thing on this side. Okay. So now we could go cut a 51 inch sill because that's what our header was. And then there's gonna be 2 lap studs that are gonna come up on here to create our 48 by 48 rough opening. So if there is a little ball, put it up.
Isn't that supposed to... Oh, we're doing the top. I can't tell. It's too heavy.
Yeah.
Boy, I don't know. Looks fine.
Well, I guess an outside would be good.
Yeah.
But I'd rather it be like not where the window openings would be.
Oh.
All right. All right, so because we don't have a rim board around this house, we just have a sill plate down. We don't have a way to fasten a board on this outside wall to prevent this wall from sliding off of our subfloor. So what we've come up with is we're just gonna use some of this plumbing strap, and I'm gonna tuck it up underneath of the wall. So we're gonna do it like right here. So we'll tuck it up underneath this wall, and then we'll wrap it around, nail it on the bottom of this bottom plate, and then screw it to our subfloor. And this will prevent our wall from being able to slide off of here when we start using those jacks to lift it up.
Mr. Man, are you gonna help us? Come on, help us frame. Yeah, come on. There you go, yeah.
Are you checking 16s, buddy?
Making sure we did our layout right.
Okay, so the last thing we're gonna do before we head in, since the sun's just about set, is nail our board, our bottom plate, onto this red line that we popped, and then we're gonna square this wall up, lock it all down, and then tomorrow we'll come out and we can start shooting.
All right, so we got the wall all squared and we are gonna head in for the night. We'll see you guys in the morning.
All right. Well, slight change of plans this morning. We got up early and we're drinking coffee, and we started thinking about it, and we kind of talked about it last night, but we're like, we should probably tape all of the seams for the zip sheeting while the wall's on the ground. Just make it way easier because of all the mud. The outside of that foundation is just solid mud, you know, and so we thought we should probably just run up and grab all the tape for the zip sheeting. We also need to grab more of that plumber's tape, that strapping, they call it plumber's tape, but that strapping that's going to be used to hold our wall in place. I only had like 5 feet of that, so we might as well grab more of that, grab some tape, and we might as well grab a donut while we're out, you know, like, we might as well. So,
Oh, the potholes.
oh, pothole season. So we're gonna run up there. We'll take you guys with us and come back and start framing.
Yeah, our goal is to run up there, get what we need, and get back, because it's supposed to be another day just like yesterday.
Yeah.
Sunny, only in the 30s, but no wind, and so we want to try and get as much done as we can.
Yeah, it'd be really cool to stand that wall up.
Yeah.
And so we figured we might as well tape the seams before we do that. So, all right.
That's a good sign. So we finished up at Home Depot, and then we're trying a donut shop here. It's up actually in Hayden, Idaho. It's our first time here. We don't get donuts a lot, but we got one that's a maple bar with bacon on it. So I'm gonna take the first bite. You can't go wrong with bacon, right?
No.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Oh,
Good combo of sweet and salty.
yeah. All right, let's get on it.
Let's get home. All right, well, we're back home and it is starting to snow. Hopefully,
Hopefully it doesn't stick around.
yeah.
Better than rain.
That is true. Better than rain. So we got the zip tape that we needed for our sheathing. I like to say sheathing. I know it's wrong.
Yeah, me too.
And we are going to start sheeting this wall.
Yep. So everything's done. The only thing we need to do still is we need to screw these straps down. We fasten them to our bottom plate, but now we need to throw some screws in here, and we need to have a screw that has threads the whole way. You know, like normal deck screws or those construction screws have like a shaft part of it that's smooth, and so because there's nothing down here, we're just fastening it to the subfloor. We need to make sure we use something that has threads the whole way. So we're going to use drywall screws. Obviously those are going to rust. It's not permanent, so we're just going to take them right back up once the wall gets stood up and braced. And right now I'm just figuring out how much I need to hang the sheeting over the bottom of this plate, so that when we pick it up, it'll kind of cap that double sill plate that we have going on down there. So I think I'm ready. We just got to grab some sheeting and pop a line. I think we'll go 4 inches sticking down, pop a line, and start nailing the sheeting on.
So we were just unwrapping our zip sheathing, and it's moldy and it's smashed. That's gross. Like, it's, I don't even want to touch it. It's moldy here too. Okay.
Go ahead from your side. You got yours.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Oh gosh. So we actually had to look up, we've never worked with the zip system before, so we actually had to look up spacing. And what we found out is that on the 8-foot sides, they're self-spacing, but on the 4-foot sides, they need to have an 1/8 inch gap. So we're using, what kind of nail?
8 penny nail.
An 8-penny nail for our spacing, and hopefully we're doing this right. You're gonna make people sick.
Oh yeah.
Exciting last piece of sheathing for this side of the house, for this wall. All right. So, are we gonna lift this wall, or do you want to go on to the next wall and then lift them both tomorrow?
We're forgetting the tape.
Oh yeah.
Let's do our tape.
Duh.
So it's like we got a couple hours left.
I don't even know what time it is. Can you see? Oh, there's a lot of layers. Oh gosh. It's
2:18.
2:18.
So we have a couple hours of light. So
We have 2 hours exactly.
So do we want to jump on framing that and get the tape out for both of these balls
We could.
at the same time?
Do we have a roller?
Yeah, I have one somewhere for doing Formica back in the day,
Okay.
but I have to find it. You guys have seen my shop, right?
We actually are planning on actually tackling that, like on a rainy day,
Yeah, we're
going in there and like really organized. We actually bought some little totes to just put a bunch of stuff in. It'd be really nice to get it a little more.
It's a nightmare in there. We need to do something. So.
Well, it's not just his shop. We have like literally everything that we own is in the barn.
Yeah.
So like everything is in totes, and then each tote has a number, and each number has, I have on a spreadsheet that has what's in that box. Yeah. And but that's the only thing that's organized. The shop itself is not.
And most of the times we turned the totes so that the number was in the back, so we couldn't read them anyway, so we had to take them. Oh, yeah.
We're organized, we're not very smart.
We tried.
All right. I guess we'll jump on just to the next wall.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then we'll tape them all at the same time.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Walk off the edge.
Where are you popping? Fish on! Oh, it's catching my line.
We've already used that one.
We've used that one?
You gotta come up with better material.
Fish on! Alright, so let's figure out which way we want to run our plate. So we're just going to set our tape on here, and 4, 8, 12, looks like 16 will be just on the other side of this window, so that's okay.
Okay.
So we'll just start it on this left side.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is it? I settle for 40 as well. It's getting cold fast out here. So basically what we're doing now is what we did on the other wall, which is marking where our windows will be, right?
Yep.
So we actually spent probably close to about 45 minutes looking at the plan, because the way the plan is designed is that the countertop in the kitchen basically runs right into the window. It's almost like the countertop is the windowsill for the window. And we both we had to figure out if we wanted it to be that way or not. And right now is kind of, yeah. We had to figure it out right now. So we had to spend some time working on that. And we decided that that is not the style that we want. We want to have either the countertop act as a backsplash where we have like a 3-inch piece.
Yeah, so
right?
typically they rip like a remnants off of the countertop, and it's about 3 inches tall, something like that.
Or Levi being like an amazing tile installer, we would do tile. So we're trying to figure out if we're gonna have a backsplash or not. Most likely we will, but we decided we definitely want some space between the countertop and the window. So we also then need to research if we can order the size that we want for the window.
Yeah, we're going with Anderson windows, and so we just have to make sure the series that we pick we're able to custom size the height of that window, because they have like standard sizes. So
Right.
we'll do that tonight, because right now we're just doing the width.
Right. So and we want to keep as much window as possible. So we're only cutting off like 6
Yeah.
inches, right?
3
Or 3
inches.
inches. 3 inches off of the window length. So height.
Height.
All right.
All right. So now we can just go. So that first window I think is 6.5, right?
Yeah, 6'2.5". So
6'2". So
both of these are 6'2.5". Yep.
6'2.5".
Yep.
Is the center of that 3-foot window.
Yes.
So what we can do is now go.
Well, now the next is 6'2.5" plus 7 and 9.5. So 9, 10, 11, 12. So 14 feet exactly is the center of the next window.
Okay.
Well, we are losing light fast, and I need to take care of some of the homestead chores, chickens, and gather some stuff. But
Yeah. So I'm going to make 3 headers. We have our bottom and top plate down. We have all the layout done. All of our windows are marked where they're supposed to go. So we're ready to start framing the wall. We only have about an hour light, maybe.
I don't even think we have that much.
Maybe not. So I'll just make some. I just need to make 3 39-inch headers.
Yeah.
And then we can pick back up tomorrow.
Yeah. So going to the hardware store this morning did take a lot of time. We actually got it done in our time frame.
Oh yeah.
But then spending 45 minutes figuring out our windows and stuff like that. So
I mean, it just takes time. You want to make, you can only do this one time. So
yeah, we want it right.
We want it right, definitely. So
yeah, we'll pick back up in the morning. Hopefully get this well framed, sheeted, both of them taped.
Yep, that's our goal tomorrow.
Yeah.
And hopefully maybe pick them up.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.